Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Marcos. We back with another video. Late at night. Got the LEDs in the back. Has some room updates, some calm. Feel me? But without further ado, let's just get right into it. It's late. Feel me? Grab popcorn, grab bev, feel me? Grab whatever you need to grab. Let's talk. Feel me? Struggle. Struggle is something I feel is a necessity just for growth. Without pain, there's no growth. And without growth, you don't become the person you want to become. There's times where I genuinely miss waking up in pain every day, waking up feeling like, I'm just going to fail today. And when you wake up feeling like you're going to fail, you have to prove to yourself that you're not. When you wake up in pain and the first thing you do is just think about how you're not able to do things the way you want to do them, it kind of puts you in a mental state where you feel like you're going insane, but at the same time you feel yourself growing and developing. Now, to further elaborate on what I mean, I'm specifically talking from my experience when I broke my leg. I'm talking about how I used to wake up in pain every single day. I used to wake up in the middle of my sleep in pain to take medicine. I used to wake up in the morning, take medicine. I used to wake up and I would pray for all the pain to go away. I would pray for strength to get through my day, and I'd pray for ways to improve and be better than the previous day. There was just so much going through my head during that whole process, but something that's clear now and something I knew was inevitable during the process was that I'd come out a stronger person mentally and physically. And I just honestly feel like without going through what I've gone through, I wouldn't be who I am right now. And I attribute everything I have right now, mentally and physically, I attribute all that to the struggles I've gone through because they've shaped me into who I've become. So I come out here to really tell y'all whatever you're going through right now, trust me, it's going to get better. You just got to embrace the struggle, embrace what you're going through. Just take it one day at a time. Be slow with it. Acknowledge that you're going through a fucked up part in your life. Acknowledge that you're going through pain. Take it all in. Channel all that pain into an energy that is going to make you greater. You can only transfer energy. You feel me? You can't just listen. You can sit here and soak in your pain and get nowhere, or you can sit here and put in the work and become great. You got to choose what you want to do. You feel me? So listen, I also want to talk about how going through that, I said earlier, going through that made me to who I am today, physically and mentally. And I want to further elaborate on how it did. Before I got hurt, I was a very, very strong person, very athlete. And I was a very I was an achiever. I wanted to always be better than the day before. I wanted to be better. But getting hurt really amplified that. Now every day is like a mission to me because every day when I was going, when my leg was broken, I couldn't walk on my own 2 feet. I had to relearn how to walk, relearn how to move my leg. Something we learn at a couple months old, at 6, 7 months old, and that's when I started walking. I was 6, 7 months when I started walking. Something I learned that early, I had to relearn at 18 years old. And it really had me thinking like, yo, any day could be your last. That's number one. Number two, you really got to sit here and put in the work to get the results. Now, for something as simple as walking, I had to put in work. Oh, I had to put in work. You feel me? I had to really go above and beyond just to move my feet, just to put one foot in front of the other again. And it was such a difficult yet rewarding time of my life that I would honestly, now I'm not saying I want to, but if I had to go through something similar like that, I wouldn't mind it. And y'all may be thinking, yo, you're crazy. You would go through another broke, you would break your leg again? I wouldn't do it again. But if it happened again, I wouldn't be mad. And I wouldn't be mad because I know I'd come out even stronger than I am now. I know I'd come out a greater person at the end of the process. It took me, I broke my leg in April. To walk fine again, it took me around, I'd honestly say about half a year. Like 5, 6 months. Yeah. I was walking with I was walking on crutches for, okay. I had my crutch when I graduated, when I walked the stage. That was 2 months to date after the accident. Um yeah, it took me a little minute. And then the whole summer, once I dropped the crutches, I had a cane for a little bit. I ended up breaking the cane. Got mad one day, broke the cane. Anger is gonna be part of when you're going through a lot of pain. Your emotions are gonna. There's gonna be times where you just have emotional outbursts. And that's fine. You're gonna be angry. You're gonna be sad. You're gonna feel like you're not capable. That's all normal when you're going through extreme pain and discomfort. But you gotta constantly remind yourself it's happening for a reason. You're gonna be stronger on the other side. So yeah, it took me a couple months, and honestly, like, yo, I was limping the whole summer. Like, it got to a point like everybody around me started getting worried, but they started like wondering if I was gonna have that limp forever. And I can't even lie, there were times I was worried too, like, yo, I'm not, I'm limping and all that. But then I had, oh god, bear with me, it's like 3 in the morning. I'm exhausted, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Um, there was times where I honestly really thought I might never walk again, but then I had to tell myself that's not an option. You can't put that thought in your brain, because the more you put that thought in your brain, the more likely it is to become the outcome. The more you tell yourself you're not capable, the more likely you are to fail. I'll give you an example in the gym, because it's just, listen, when you in the gym, you either gonna move the weight or you not. You either gonna do the workout or you not. You feel me? And the only way you can do the workout, first you gotta tell yourself you can do it. Once you tell yourself you can't, guess what's gonna happen? You can't move the weight. So I'll give y'all an example. This week, squatting. You feel me? I'm squatting again. I'm squatting heavy again. I was telling myself, yo, you have moved this way before. Even though you did it before you got hurt and you're not completely, you haven't built 100% of your strength back. You have done this before. You can do this again. And what did I do? I did it again. You got to tell yourself, you got to speak life into what you do. You got to speak life into yourself. You can't sit here and constantly, downplay yourself, constantly talk down to yourself and expect to do great. It's not going to happen. You got to talk up. You got to bring yourself up. Because at the end of the day, you're the only person you got. If you're not bringing yourself up, nobody going to do it for you. You feel me? If you're not telling yourself you're great, nobody's going to tell you you're great. This is the way I think, because listen, this is the way I feel it is in this world. Ain't nobody gonna do the work for you. You gotta do it yourself. But back to what I was saying before, I got on that little tangent. Yeah, I was walking. It took me about half a year to relearn how to do a basic human skill, which is walk. And it made me so grateful too. Like, there's people out here that can't walk because they're paralyzed, they're in wheelchairs. I was in a wheelchair. I was in on crutches. I was walking with a limp, literally walking like my hip would like go like in. It was so bad. You know, all the jokes and stuff. Like, listen, I don't. I don't take it to heart 100%. At the end of the day, it's jokes. But like, it do feel like, you feel a little way about it, but it's not like crazy personal. But at the same time, you feel me? It pushed me. It's like, yo, I have to get back to where I was. I have to get fast again. I have to get athletic. I have to get strong. I have to get explosive. I have to return. And it put me in that in that mental state where you can't accept failure. And it taught me that life is going to throw the most unexpected battles at you. And you have to be willing to fight if you want to make it out on the other side. You're not going to make it out on the other side if you don't have that desire to win. Think about the people that go to war for our country. They don't want to lose, which is why they win. You know what I'm saying? Think about all the athletes that go into games winning championships. They don't want to lose and they have the skills to back it, which is why they win. Think about yourself. When you went through something and you were unsure of the outcome, but you had your mind fixated on one particular outcome. Say it was a test in school you had to pass, a game for my athletes, a game you had to win for the championship, or even a girl you like. You feel me? You had one, you were unsure of the certain outcome, but you had that one particular outcome in mind that you wanted, and you wanted to succeed in it, and you did everything in your power to succeed because you had that desire to win. And if you won because you did what you had to do and you had that desire, you understand where I'm coming from. You gotta want it more than anything else. When I tell y'all, I used to wake up sometimes with tears in my eyes just because I couldn't go play ball. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do things for myself. When I tell y'all I was like at a low point, that's an understatement to what I was truly going through. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like, I have the worst struggle in the world. Because there's people that had it way worse than I do. And way worse than I did. But I'm just telling y'all, from my personal experience, I was in a position where I had lost it all and I needed to win it back. And it made every day a battle and it made it fun. It was hard as hell, but it was fun. There would be times I'd sit in my kitchen, look out my window, and just imagine playing basketball outside. I'd imagine going outside with my friends, living the life I was living before. I'd imagine it and just get so many emotions. I'd get happy because, I'm able to still imagine it. You know, I was grateful that I was still able to, get better. I was grateful that it wasn't as bad. Like I didn't lose my leg in the process. I didn't lose my life. I was just extremely grateful that my family was able to see me, that I'm able to see them. I was extremely grateful for what happened. Um, but then I'd also feel sadness, and I'd feel, I'm sad because I can't go outside and do what I was doing before. I can't go play basketball. I can't even go with my friends. I'm missing out on the end of school stuff. I'm missing out on a lot of things that I feel like I was feeling left out in a sense. And I really wanted to do a lot, but I couldn't. I stay in the crib watching Power. You know what I'm saying? Playing some video games, studying here and there, some work stuff. Um, but I wasn't really doing too much productive things, you know what I'm saying? And I honestly just feel like, well, that was, I would imagine. I'm just like thinking back now, like, yo, that was really like everything that happened really happened. You know what I mean? Everything, everything that happened really happened. And I think of myself and I'd get mad. when I got mad, it wasn't, just I'm angry mad. I'm mad because I can't do it. And I got jealous of my old self. And I was jealous that, I used to be able to do these things. And I envied the old version of myself. So, you know what I did? I had to work. And I vowed to myself that I'd outwork the person I was before. I vowed to myself that I would outdo him in every statistical category there is. I'd sharpen my mind more. I'd get stronger than he was. I just grind harder and I do better than him. And I talk about the old version of myself like he's an entirely different person because that's what I view him as. You feel me? May sound a little crazy. Some people might not understand where I'm coming from, and that's okay. But I don't see him as the same person I am now because I've gone through so much change and so many different mindset changes and so many different I've gone through life, you know what I mean? I've gone through things, I've gone through trauma, I've gone through a whole bunch of stuff that old version of myself didn't go through. And now with this newfound knowledge and newfound strength that I have, I'm able to make so many more better decisions, and I'm able to do so much more and provide so much more. I hope that one day when I'm fully better than ever, and I'm doing things that I wasn't doing before, I hope that my story can touch people in a way. I hope that I want to be able to inspire people. I, I want to dunk, and I'm going to dunk. I'm already short. I'm short, and I'm a dunk. Watch me. I'm 5'8", and I will dunk a basketball after breaking my leg. So if I can do that, when I do that, it's gonna be inspiration for anybody that's short and thinks they can't dunk. It's gonna be inspiration for people like the old version of myself. That little hooper kid that was just trying to dunk. He was the little athlete that was trying to dunk. It's gonna be inspiration for the people that have also gotten injured and people that also got hurt. And they're unsure whether they can come back or not. Anything's possible. You just gotta put your mind to it. That's ultimately like everything. Your mindset is everything. You constantly degrade yourself and you constantly tell yourself you're incapable of doing anything positive, you will do nothing positive, and you will only bring negatives to yourself. So I want y'all all to comment down below just something positive about yourself, as small as it could be. If you like the way you look when you look at yourself in the mirror, comment that. You feel me? If you think you're a good athlete, comment that. If you think you're able to, you're good looking and you're able to pull, comment that. Comment something nice about yourself, because we constantly point out all the bad things about ourselves, but ever, we never tell ourselves how good we are all the time. We're always quick to tell each other, not tell each other, tell ourselves we aren't that good before we tell ourselves we are good. And once you really start to understand the power of the mind and what it can do for you and how far you can go with just your brain up here, you will start making so many more strides in your journey. And that's another thing, the journey. The journey is so important. The journey is detrimental. You have to fall in love with the journey. You have to fall in love with the struggle. You gotta kind of like dream about it. You gotta fantasize about it. I literally, like, when I tell y'all, I used to like walking, like just being able to take a step was my everything at one point. Just being able to run again was my everything. Like, I would have killed to, like, y'all don't understand. I would have killed to do those things. Genuinely. I would have done anything to do those things. Just to walk or run or shoot a basketball or just wake up without my leg, without having to call for help, or wake up without having to crawl from one side of the room to get my crutches. The way my room was set up before, I had my bed like on this, my crutches all the way over here. I have to like move so awkwardly. I have to move my leg without like moving my leg. I'd have to physically pick my leg up, move it to the side, hop on one leg, get the crutches. Yo, it was crazy. But it was fun. It was genuinely fun because it was hard as hell. I'd start my day. The start of my day would be the hardest part. Getting out of bed would be the hardest part of my day. And every day I had to tell myself, you can get out of bed. You can do it. You woke up today, you gotta do it. You don't got a choice. As long as you constantly tell yourself you are capable and you can do it, and when you really put yourself in a situation, after being put in a situation where you have no other choice, you will succeed and you will start to see results. And with that being said, yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the yap session, the little 3 a.m. yap session. We're gonna get started. I think I'm gonna make this a little. I like talking at night. I'm not gonna lie. And these last couple of nights, I've been up late, and it's not looking like that's gonna change a lot. Night yap sessions. Really tired. Night yap sessions are great. Um, enjoy the struggle, yeah. Enjoy the struggle. Enjoy the journey. Fall in love with it. Dream about it. Go to sleep. Think about it, and acknowledge that it's gonna be hard. When you're trying to do great things and you're just going through struggle in general, acknowledge that it's gonna be hard, but that's what makes it all the more worth it. Acknowledge that not everything will be perfect, but that's perfectly fine. But hey man, if y'all enjoyed the video, y'all know what to do. Drop a like and hit that sub button. We on the road to 1K. Already told y'all what to comment. I want to see y'all comment something y'all love about yourselves. With that being said, y'all, I'll catch y'all on the next one.